Welcome to Third Hour Science. Today is Monday, April 13th, 2020. Today's lesson is 3.2, Insect Reproduction and Life Cycles. In this unit, we will be comparing and contrasting the major stages in the life cycle, such as those that undergo incomplete and complete metamorphosis. On the third page of your reading assignment is a complete chart on metamorphosis. Please review this page. Questions that we will address in our reading today is define metamorphosis. What is the difference between complete and incomplete metamorphosis? What are the 4 stages of complete metamorphosis? And describe the differences between the immature and adult forms of most insects. Our lesson today: most insects hatch from eggs. The female adult butterfly lays eggs on her plants. The plants help protect her young. With time, the baby insects will hatch from the egg. The plant will supply food for the young insects. It also helps it get water. The plant's leaves contain water. When the young insect eats the plant, it will get water. What comes out of a butterfly egg? This is a tricky question. Butterflies will not come out of the eggs. Instead, butterfly larvae will come out of the eggs. What is butterfly larva? We call butterfly larva a caterpillar. Over time, the caterpillar will mature. During its life, it will go through another change. In the next change, these young insects will form a pupa. This pupa is called a chrysalis. You may have seen them hanging from trees. What happens in the pupa stage is amazing. The caterpillar changes into a butterfly. An insect's life cycle is not always like ours. It's not even like a plant. When animals are born, they're a small version of adults. Plants, too, are small versions of larger plants. Insects can look different than adults. In fact, they look like different creatures. These insects will go through a transformation. This transformation is called metamorphosis. There are 3 types of metamorphosis. An insect can have one of 3 types of changes in its life. A metamorphosis describes how insects change. Some insects do not go through a change. Instead, they look like small versions of adults. The only change between young and mature is size. Other types of insects go through a change in physical appearance. There are 2 types of this type of change. Some insects change only slightly during their change. This type is called incomplete metamorphosis. Other types of insects go through a major change. They don't look at all like an adult when they are born. This type of change is called complete metamorphosis. There is a chart. This is a chart that describes all of the differences. Be a good chart to review or to study. In summary, metamorphosis can be describes how insects transform from an immature form into an adult. It can be part of the insect life cycle. So in addressing our questions, define metamorphosis. Metamorphosis describes how insects transform an immature form into an adult form. It is part of the insect life cycle. The differences between complete and incomplete metamorphosis can be the stages. There are 3 versus 4 stages. The incomplete has 3 stages: the egg, the nymph, and the adult. Growth occurs during the nymph stage. Complete has to go through 4 stages in their life cycle: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Those are also the 4 stages of complete metamorphosis. So the differences between the immature and the adult forms of insects are that they have different forms, different behaviors. They live in different habitats. Some insects only change slightly from birth to adult. It's called immature size. Others emerge as adults only after the wings develop. That concludes the lesson. However, we also have a word search on personality. Some of the words in the word search will be energetic, enthusiastic, self-assured, intolerant, patient, impulsive, passionate, hardworking, adaptable, possessive, calm, intuitive, selfish, jealous, romantic, loving, and moody. There's also a little quiz on the back. I don't know that it fully goes with the reading. However, a small plant is called a petal, tree, trunk, or shrub. I don't think it would be a petal. A petal is only one part of a leaf. The same with a trunk. And it's not small. The little plant that grows in deserts and needs very little water is called, well, we planted marigolds, so we know they don't live in the desert. And we've learned that ferns live close to the ground because they need a lot of water. They mostly grow in forests. A tall plant is called grass, bush, tree, or shrub. I think grass is too short. Shrubs are kind of short also, as are bushes. I know trees can be pretty tall. Tiny plants that live in moist places are called, grass is tiny. Cells are tiny, but we don't see them. Fruit trees are kind of big. Then there's mosses. We learned that mosses can grow like a carpet on the ground. They have very shallow roots, and so they have to absorb their water from the ground. Which type of plant grows by climbing on other plants or fences? Daisies don't. They grow on a flower plant. We know the bushes don't climb. Roots go different places. However, vine plants are the ones that climb. Often they can attach to a fence and climb up. A morning glory is a vine plant. If there's a fence right there, they just attach to the fence and just climb up it. Sometimes they make like a fence. Well, that concludes our lesson for today. If you have any questions, be sure to jot them down so that you can ask. Remember to watch your videos. Have a great day. Get all of your work done.